What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at this week's Nightfall Ordeal. This is available to everyone and even new light players, so this is a great opportunity to farm those materials ahead of next season and the full DLC. So if you want to check out a few hints and tips and the fastest way to farm it, then this is the video for you. Now, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay, guys, let's jump into the video. Now, Nightfall Ordeals are one of the hardest free-man activities currently inside Destiny 2, and they offer a great variety of rewards, varying from upgrade materials, Ascendant Shards, and even exotics, which, depending on the difficulty that you're running, can be a common drop in this activity. Now, in our video today, we're going to break down this Nightfall Ordeal and make it as easy as possible for you guys, so this way you can get through it as quickly and as easily as possible, but also give yourself the best opportunity to get some fantastic loot. Now, before you start any Nightfall Ordeal, the first place you want to visit will be the Tribute Hall. This is a fantastic place where you can fill up on power ammo, special ammo, and primary ammo, making sure that you can start your Ordeal with full reserves before you even approach an encounter. So be sure to visit the Tribute Hall first to make sure you don't go into the Nightfall ill-equipped before you even start. Now, with exotics being exempt from sunsetting, the Nightfall Ordeal is a fantastic opportunity this week to get as many exotics as you possibly can. You can get it on any difficulty from hero upwards, but they are common drops in the legend and master versions of the activity. We're going to be running the master version because we're going to be chasing down exotics, but also some rare upgrade materials. This would be super beneficial for next season and even the full DLC. We're going to be chasing down Ascendant Shards, which are uncommon even in the master version, but also Enhancement Prisms. Now, when you first start the Nightfall, you want to jump on your Sparrow straight away. A few key objectives to bear in mind is we're going to be chasing down every single champion to defeat them throughout this activity to make sure we get a platinum medal at the end, but also so we can get a 100,000 score as well. By completing those two objectives give us the best opportunity to get exotics and Ascendant Shards at the end of the activity, which is the main reason for doing this at the moment. Now, as you approach the portal to the Infinite Forest, you want to head over to the left-hand side here and jump up and take out some of the Scorpion turrets. These cause quite a few issues, so be sure to take them out as soon as you can. And there's also a champion that we first need to defeat before the gate to the Infinite Forest opens. But once we've defeated those, we are good to go into the rest of the strike. And once you're through the portal, you can jump on your Sparrow. This is simply just to shave off a few seconds. But once you're in the Infinite Forest, you can work your way through as you normally would. If you're going for 100,000, be sure to take the time you need to take out the ads to improve your score. A thing to bear in mind is match game is on in the Nightfall Ordeal. However, the Infinite Forest is classed as a public zone, and as a result, it doesn't take effect within the Infinite Forest. So even if you have an arc weapon like I have my Last Hope here, it can still take out any elemental shield with ease as it normally would without match game active. And once you've made your way through the Infinite Forest, you'll get to a new outside section with plenty of Legionnaires. You need to first clear as many of those as you can. There are 2 barrier champions that we need to first clear before we can jump back on our Sparrows and into the next section. Now, as you can see here, we have a well, but we are also running 2 Bubble Titans. A few weapons to bear in mind which are very strong are things like Ariana's Vow, Izanagi's Burden, and we are also all running swords. And this can be the Throne Cleaver if you are a Titan, but any adaptive frame sword, especially if it has Whirlwind Blade, will do you very well in this ordeal. And once you've taken out those 2 barrier champions, we can cross the ravine and climb up onto this cylinder structure in front of us. There are 2 barrier champions in this area that we also need to take out before we can move on. One is up top and one is down below. But being up top gives us a great vantage point, but also allows us a little bit of protection from some of the ads in the area. From here, you'll make your way through the Sparrow section. There is a champion on the way through this area, so be sure to stop and take him out before moving on. But once you are past this section, you're onto the home stretch. So you want to clear through the ads and make your way through to the final encounter. There is a champion waiting for us just before we drop down to the final boss. Be sure to give him enough space because he does drop down and he will reappear. So if you do push up, he will land on top of you and wipe you instantly. So be aware of that when approaching this section of the strike. Now, in the final boss room, there is a champion again that we need to defeat before we can start the boss encounter. It is possible to melt the boss in this week's Nightfall Ordeal. Be sure to use a bubble, and this is where swords really come into their own. Now, by all using swords, preferably ones with Whirlwind Blade, the damage that these are stacking as we are gradually doing light attacks will be enough to take out the boss in one phase. Once the boss is defeated, this will spawn the next group of ads. There are 2 barrier champions that spawn in this room as well. So again, We'll need to take those out before we can move to the final section. Now, as the boss is defeated, we won't have to worry about him in the next couple of rooms. However, there is an overload champion alongside some barrier champions in this room, so we'll need to quickly defeat these to ensure we don't get overwhelmed by harpies that also spawn in this room. A match game will be active, guys, so bear that in mind and make sure you have some arc energy weapons available. And once you've taken out the final champion, we simply need to go to the final room, and we are simply collecting our loot at this point. We've defeated all the ads and we've defeated the boss as well. Now, as you can see, our score is well above 100,000. We have defeated every champion on the way, and we get a platinum medal as a result. And this gives us the best opportunity to get the best loot possible from this activity. Now, each run will take between 15 and 20 minutes with a good team composition. And as I said at the beginning of the video, this week's Nightfall Ordeal is available to all players. So if you've been a new light player and haven't been able to get into many Nightfall Ordeals throughout this season, be sure to use this as your opportunity to get some meaningful materials, but also some high stat rolls on any of your exotic armor. And as I mentioned earlier, exotics will be exempt from sunsetting later this year when the full DLC arrives. So there we have it, guys. That is a breakdown of this week's Nightfall Ordeal, available to all players, and is probably the best way to farm exotics currently in the game consistently ahead of next season. So be sure to make the most of it whilst you can before the end of the season. If you have enjoyed the video, guys, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here and want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then you're in the right place, and be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.